Hello everyone, this is Brie Mana and welcome to another speed draw video. This is the second one in my comic character series, and today I am drawing Bobby Black from TLC. Before I get into who the character is, I've been asked to give some advice for each stage of my drawing process. Keep in mind, I'm still a high school student and I still have things to learn about the medium I work in. I like to break out my drawing into 4 stages: sketching, inking, coloring, and shading. Now, onto the drawing.
The point of sketching is to create a rough guide for your drawing. At first, you want to get in the rough shapes of the environment and the body down. After that is when you add details to everything so that the clothes and body will be in proportion and you'll know how the clothes will hang or wrinkle on the body. I'm still learning body proportions, so if you'd like more advice on how to split the body into basic shapes, then check out Draw with Jazz's video on how to draw the human figure. I'll put the link in the description. For the rest of the sketch, I fill in details such as hair, facial expressions, and clothing, adding as much detail as I see fit to help me in the inking stage. I had more sketching work than some artists, but less than others I watch, so really it's up to preference. Given this character just a circle for a head, I only needed a guideline at the top, bottom, and middle of the circle in the direction the character is looking. Most characters will have an extra line below the circle for the chin and mouth area. I generally give more space for the mouth and jaw than in an adult or an older character than I do for a child. For adults, the head is split into even thirds. For children, I generally split it into 2 halves and then a quarter of that size for their chin and mouth area. In the inking phase, you want to go over rough lines and create a refined look. This is also the time to add details you may not have sketched. Other things that you can add in this stage are black cell shading or cross-hatching if you choose to do so. It all depends on style in this case. After you're done, you can erase the pencil sketch underneath and bam, you have a cleanly lined image.
Till I get up, time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways. And on we'll go.
A good thing to keep in mind is that long pen strokes often look better than many short ones, and that line weight can help emphasize parts of an image I tend to add line weight to define the eyes, and sometimes to add a thicker line around the character's silhouette to help it pop out from the page. While some people do coloring and shading as two separate stages, I tend to go back and forth depending on what color I'm working with or if I miss a spot and need to come back. When I color, I always go in a lighter hand and fill in the section a bit lighter than I intend the end result to be. Then I generally shade over top, because I find it easier to add color than take away color with an eraser, and using this method leads for a nicer gradient. When coloring, it's important to use smaller circular motions for smoother surfaces and more zigzaggy or line-like coloring for other surfaces. When coloring a character's hair or braided structure, it is good to color in the direction that the hair is flowing to achieve a more natural look. While shading, it is important to keep in mind how light hits objects, different materials, the position of the character, and shading when it comes to wrinkles in clothing. Shading is admittedly my weak point in this process, so I would suggest looking up other tutorials on the shading process. Draw with Jazza has one for the body in particular, which I will also pop in the description. You can find lots of tutorials on YouTube to learn all kinds of things about character art and many other topics in the art world. Now that the tutorial portion of the video is over, I can go over some things about the character I'm drawing. Like last time, I highly suggest that you read my comic on tapaz.io before listening to the section, unless you want spoilers. So Bobby, as mentioned in the comic, was a kamikaze experiment done by some scientists in Zimbabwe. Opal and Orion Black, Keen's parents, found him alone in an orphanage, and nobody really wanted to take him out of fear. So they took him and brought him back to America. And while they didn't really go about this properly, they were able to do it because Orion's political status, and they got a personal plane. Bobby is the first of the kids in the Black family to be adopted shortly after Keen came out and started presenting as male. This is why none of Keen's siblings know about the fact that Keen is transgender. Bobby didn't speak English at first and Keen took a lot of time in the day to teach him. The two of them are pretty close because of this, but Keen has always kept a little bit of distance between all of his siblings, and Bobby always wishes he knew why Keen seems a bit on edge and wishes that the brother would tell him or let somebody help him with whatever is going on. Bobby was stuck indoors until about the age of 7, so he likes to get out and be active as much as possible, and likes to encourage his siblings to do the same because many people seem to underappreciate the value of being able to go outside whenever one wants. His favorite sport is soccer, and his favorite color is orange. His favorite video game is also Mario Kart. If you want more information on him, I would check out his character reference on my DeviantArt. Alright everyone, so thanks for watching. Be sure to check out my links in the description for the videos I've mentioned, along with all of my social media links and the link to my comic. Like, subscribe if you feel like it, and have a good day. Feel free to listen to the music and watch the rest of the drawing, or leave, or whatever. I don't care. Just have a good day.